So we've got the two main parts. We've got the base and we've got the table. Now we've got to work out what angle to put the slope at. There's a few things to take into consideration. First of all, what is going to be your shooting plane that you're going to use on this shooting board? As I said before, this one is for the H&T Gordon smoother. So what I want to know is how big my blade is and what is the gap between the blade and the edge of the plane. If you look at different planes, the gaps vary from there to there. Why that's important is because if you want to use as much blade as possible, you have to know what that measurement is there, so you're going to be cutting above it. This is going to have an angle in it, by the way, so I can shoot 45s. So a lot depends on where you're going to put your cleat for the 45 and also the width of the timber that you're going to be using. If you're using 90, and we had it here, that means I can bring this up this high, and I could still plane. But if I wanted to do a 120 wide piece of material, which is only 30 mil more, we're up here, I've got, as you can see, there's no blade coming in contact. You have options. You can move your 45 cleat further down the board, which then will bring the blade into play, or you can decrease the angle of your slope, which means your blade will be in contact further up here because the degree of ramp is different. For me, I'm just going to wing it. Most of my stuff's going to be 90, I think, but I like to have mine down about there. So I'll have this at 45 here. That's where I'm going to have that, and I reckon most of my stuff is going to be 90. So I'll measure 90 from here. The reason I'm measuring from that obtuse line is because if I've got material that's 90 mil wide, this isn't, but it's going to be sitting on there as I'm cutting this angle here. So measure it from that line down, we'll go 90. I'll be starting my cut there, right on that mark there, because I've measured up 90 from here and I'm cutting a 45 degree. Now the other thing is, if you've got a smaller angle, you're not using all of the blade surface. So I'm going to increase the angle a bit, but I also want to have a safety margin there that if I need to, possibly I could go to 120 in width of timber. I like to have about 6 mil at the end like that, so put a bit of material there. Doesn't matter, 6 mil, 10 mil, whatever you feel is convenient. Now I get a piece of scrap timber and you slide it up until you feel comfortable. Now I'm engaging here at 90 degrees, at 90 mil. If I bring this back to 120, just in case I ever need 120, which I don't think I ever will, it's right there. So if I line that up, okay, the blade is still cutting at 120 and it's nice and comfortable at 90. So I've got to have a wedge that is 35 millimeters at the thickest down to 6 mil on the end and the length of the shooting board. The other thing to take into consideration is that works absolutely fine the way I'm doing it now, but because the base of this is plywood, I really don't want to be running on plywood, so I'm going to put a piece of slip timber in there, or wear timber, so the plane was running on timber, not veneer. And this particular piece, got out the scrap bin, it's about 9 mil, and it will sit right here. So then check all your measurements again. Okay, that's going to be doing fine there. Fine there. Now come down to the end and make sure when you're right at the end, your blade is still above the ramp. So that, to me, is absolutely fine. What you've got to do then is cut a couple of lengths of timber, plane them, and get them to fit in here nicely. The other thing I did do, I did off camera, you could use a rebate plane, you could use a router, you could use table saw, whatever. I've put a rebate in there because I want this to just hook under there and not give me a gap between this board and the shooting surface. So let's just pop these in the vise. You see, there's a lot of hit and miss there where I was not real accurate with the saw. Okay. We'll just mark those off and cut them to length. So I think I'll glue and screw that in. Make sure I've got the right one, yep. There we have the ramp. And now what we can do, we can screw this onto this as well, because I like brass, I can't help it. I don't know if it's all the brass I had in the army or I was brought up with brass. Just happen to have a bit here. And it is 6 mil. So what I can do is run a 6 mil rebate down here. Again, I could use a saw, I could use a router. In this case, I'm going to just use a rebate plane. So I'm marking where I want that cut to go. I'm going to put my rebate plane in at an angle and do some passes. And as I go, I slowly bring the plane to the upright. When it's on an angle like that, it is widening the fence so the plane can rest nicely against it. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go up to my metal workshop and I'm just going to polish this bit of brass up. Let's finish the brass. I've polished it, I've drilled it, I've countersunk it, I've just sprayed it. It's outside drying, so in the meantime we can go ahead and cut the rebate here to accept the wedge so we can shoot at 45 degrees. I'm using a miter square. Pop it there. Now make sure you use this reference face here, the one you're actually going to be planing on, because then the 45 degrees is square to this. Now the other one you have to do is the wedge part that's going to hold the jig in place, or the wedge, or whatever you want to call it, and make sure it's greater than 45 degrees. That way it's bigger at the opening and it goes smaller, creating a wedge effect. Doesn't matter what saw you use, just to make sure that it's sharp. And once you've got the full cut going, keep it steady. Just keep checking your depth. Just to show it doesn't matter what saw you use. I'll use a Japanese saw for this one. Now, if you like You can get a router in there and knock it out. You can use a chisel, you can use a router plane. Alright, there's a bit of nasty tear out in there. That was because I was impatient. If I'd been gentler and taken smaller shavings, it would have happened. In the meantime, there's the brass strip, which I have to screw onto the edge here. And now I've got to make the wedge to go into the middle.